Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. This channel is devoted mostly to hunting and fishing. And start off by saying that if you are easily offended by hunting or fishing or people that do hunt or fish, then this is probably not the best channel on YouTube for you. But if you are, then awesome, let's get started. So today, since it's our first episode, I'm going to try and keep it kind of simple. I'm not going to go into any specifics today. I just want to keep it very vague with just some hunting 101. One of the first things you need to know about hunting is that you're not always going to get a deer. I remember when I was younger, I believed, the first time I ever get to go hunting, I'm going to get a deer. It's going to be awesome. And, you build almost a fantasy out of, your first hunt and, it being a success. And it's not always, going to be a success, especially for your first one. Actually, I started hunting when I was 8 years old. And I remember my first hunt, I stayed in the woods probably 3 or 4 hours. And I didn't get anything, and that's fine. And I didn't get anything for years, actually, probably till I think my first buck I was 13 years old, and it was youth weekend, but I mean that's 5 years, and I hunted every year since I was 8 years old. And it took me 5 years. And I know people, they have been hunting since they were even younger than 8, and they've waited even longer. There's some people that have been hunting since they were 8, and they still haven't got one they've been trying every year. It just depends on what you have at your disposal, the pressure in your area, where you are. Just, kind of do research on deer and deer hunting in your area, what they like. Talk to people that hunt in your area, and really just Google's your best friend on this. Really, you need to just research what the deer in your area like. I know, down here in East Tennessee, they really like acorns. I know deer, everywhere love acorns, but I mean, really, that's most of what we have here, unless you're, to go plant a cornfield and hunt over it or whatever, do something like that, or throw a block out for them, or put out salts for them, or extra help is what I'm trying to say. Any extra help. Another thing you need to know whenever you're going to start hunting is you need to know whenever to pass up a buck, or any deer for that matter. But we're just gonna say a buck. There are actually charts online. If you can't find a website on it, you can even go to just Google Images, and you can type in, how do I know how old a buck is? And it will show you charts on, how old a buck is. You'll be able to tell by the maturity of not only its antlers, but its body, like its shoulders, its brisket, just the shape of the deer in general. And, if you study those charts, you'll be able to tell whenever you're in the field and you're looking down your sights or through your scope, or, whatever you're shooting with. You'll be able to tell, that buck's 3 years old, or that buck's 5 years old. This way, you might see a buck that's 2 years old, according to the chart, and you're thinking, man, that's a really big deer. And then, that's where you need to decide, do I want to let him grow? Or, he's really big now, do I let him grow? Or do I take him? What do I do? Because, in some high-pressured areas, you do have the conflict of knowing you could be the good Samaritan, and you could let him go and let him grow another year, and you could wait for him next year and come back for him next year, because you think, all right, next year that'll be acceptable. I can get him, he'll be 3.5, whatever, and I'll get him next year. But that it's a high pressure area, and people in your area might not be as like-minded, and they might think, well, hey, there's a deer, it's deer season, let's get it. And it's just something about hunting that you got to deal with. It is one of the downsides when you're hunting, that you see these deer that have potential, and they don't always get to make it, and you have to be able to make that call. Do I just want to go ahead and take it and get the meat and get the antlers and whatnot, or do I want to chance it and let this deer grow? You have to remember, if you do take it now, there's 0% chance of it growing at all. So what I always try and do is I look at it, and I kind of have like a marked size in my head. just hunting over time, you'll kind of get it. I know it sounds weird, but you kind of have an idea of, what's acceptable and what's not after a little while, especially, like I said, doing research for your area. You might look at this buck and think, it's not as big as the ones, I see like on TV or whatever, but, you got to remember those are in different areas. If you're looking at it and it's small for your area, don't take it. Just wait, and somebody else might get it. But you know what? If you take it now, like I said, there'll be 0% chance that it's going to grow. So I always try and, if they're below my little gauge that I have in my head for, the size I want, I just go ahead and let them go, even if I don't have any meat in the freezer. So I'm going to try and wrap up this video. Just one last thing. Whenever you guys are out there, just remember, it's not about the size of their antlers. And it's not about whether you get anything or not. It's just being out in God's creation and relaxing and enjoying it. There's a lot of times now to where I don't get a deer and people I know don't get a deer, and it's whatever. It's a lifestyle, and we go out and we do it, and I always have fun whether I get anything or not. Same way with fishing. This year, actually, the entire summer, I have not caught a single fish, and I really don't care. It's just about going out and enjoying it and experiencing God's creation. So God bless you guys. Have a nice day.